Right now, in this very moment, something extraordinary is happening in your life. You're being called to rise again. You're being summoned by a force within you that refuses to accept defeat as final. And I want you to know something profound. The fact that you're here, the fact that you're reading these words, is not an accident. It's a sign. It's a signal from the universe that your comeback has already begun. You see, life has a peculiar way of bringing us to our knees before it elevates us to heights we never thought possible. The setback you experienced, the failure that seemed to crush your spirit, the disappointment that left you wondering if you'd ever feel whole again, these weren't meant to destroy you. They were preparing you. They were seasoning you. They were getting you ready for the greatest chapter of your life. Let me tell you something about comebacks that most people don't understand. A comeback isn't about returning to who you were before. It's about becoming someone entirely new. It's about transformation at the deepest level. When a caterpillar enters the cocoon, it doesn't just rest and then emerge with wings. No, it dissolves completely. Its entire structure breaks down into a soup-like substance before it reorganizes into a butterfly. That's what's happening to you right now. You're not broken. You're dissolving so you can be reformed into something magnificent. The pain you felt, the tears you've cried, the nights you've spent wondering if things would ever get better, all of that was necessary. Not because the universe is cruel, but because transformation requires a breaking down of old patterns, old beliefs, old versions of yourself that no longer serve you. You had to lose certain things to make room for what's coming. You had to be emptied so you could be filled with something far greater. Think about this for a moment. Every great comeback story in history began with someone at their lowest point. They were down, they were defeated, they were doubted by everyone around them. But something within them refused to quit. That same something lives within you. It's that quiet voice that whispers, "Try again," when everything else in your life is screaming, "Give up." It's that flicker of hope that refuses to be extinguished no matter how strong the winds of adversity blow. You know what I've learned about rock bottom? It's the most solid foundation you'll ever build upon. When you've lost everything, when you've been stripped of all the external validations and securities you once relied upon, you finally meet your true self. You meet the part of you that exists beyond your achievements, beyond your relationships, beyond your possessions. You meet the eternal, unchangeable essence of who you are. And that essence is pure power. Your comeback isn't going to look like you think it will. You're probably sitting there with a mental picture of what success looks like, what vindication would feel like, how sweet it would be to prove everyone wrong who doubted you. But let me tell you something more important. Your comeback will exceed your imagination. It will be bigger, more fulfilling, and more meaningful than anything you could have planned from your limited perspective. Why? Because you're not the one orchestrating this comeback. You're partnering with a force that knows exactly what you need, exactly what you're capable of, and exactly what timing is perfect. The universe doesn't operate on your timeline. It operates on perfect timing. Every delay you've experienced was protecting you from something or preparing you for something. Every closed door was redirecting you toward a door you didn't even know existed. Every no you received was clearing the path for a yes that will change everything. You've been frustrated by the waiting, I know. You've been anxious about when things will turn around. But what if I told you that every single moment of waiting has been building? Something inside you that's absolutely essential for what's coming? Let's talk about the word comeback for a second. It implies that you're coming back to something. But here's what's really happening. You're coming forward into something. You're moving toward a version of your life that didn't exist before. The old life, the old circumstances, the old you, they served their purpose. They taught you lessons. They showed you what you don't want. They revealed character traits that needed strengthening. But you're not going back there. You're going somewhere entirely new. This is why comparison is so dangerous during a comeback. You look at where you were, and you measure your current progress against that old standard. But that's like a butterfly comparing itself to the caterpillar it used to be, and feeling inadequate because it can't crawl on the ground as efficiently anymore. You're not meant to be what you were. You're meant to be what you're becoming. And what you're becoming is so much more powerful than what you were. I want you to understand something crucial about your worth. Your value doesn't fluctuate based on your circumstances. It doesn't increase when things are going well and decrease when you're struggling. Your worth is inherent. It's built into the fabric of your being. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, and that spiritual core is unchangeable, unshakable, and infinitely valuable. The setbacks didn't diminish your worth, they revealed it. They showed you that even when everything external is stripped away, you still exist, you still have value, you still matter. Many people make the mistake of tying their identity to their achievements. When they succeed, they feel worthy. When they fail, they feel worthless. But this is a trap. This is bondage. Your identity must be rooted in something deeper than your performance. It must be rooted in your essential nature as a creative, spiritual being. When you understand this, failure becomes impossible. Oh, things might not work out the way you planned. Projects might collapse. Relationships might end. Businesses might fail. But you never fail because you are not your circumstances. You are the observer of your circumstances. You are the consciousness experiencing these events. And consciousness can never fail. Now, here's where it gets exciting. When you shift your identity from your accomplishments to your essence, you become unstoppable. Why? Because you're no longer afraid of failure. You're no longer paralyzed by the fear of losing what you have or not getting what you want. You're free. And freedom is the foundation of all great comebacks. You cannot create magnificently while operating from fear. You can only create magnificently while operating from freedom. Your comeback is going to require you to let go of some beliefs that have been holding you hostage. You're going to have to release the belief that you need certain people's approval to be successful. You're going to have to abandon the idea that there's only one path to your dreams. You're going to have to surrender the notion that you need to have it all figured out before you take the next step. These beliefs are chains. They're keeping you small. They're preventing you from accessing the power that's available to you. What if I told you that you don't need to know how your comeback is going to happen? What if I told you that trying to figure out every detail is actually blocking the flow of miracles into your life? You see, when you insist on knowing the how, you limit the universe to the solutions that your limited mind can conceive. But when you release the how and focus on the what you want to experience, what you want to become, what you want to contribute, you open yourself to infinite possibilities. You allow the universe to surprise you with solutions that are far more elegant, far more perfect than anything you could have planned. This requires trust. And trust is not easy when you've been disappointed before. Trust is not easy when you've tried and failed multiple times. Trust is not easy when people have let you down, when circumstances have betrayed you, when your own decisions have led you astray. But here's what trust really is. It's not about believing that everything will go exactly as you want it to. It's about believing that everything is working for your highest good, even when it doesn't feel like it. It's about having faith that you're being guided, that you're being supported, that you're being prepared for something greater. Let me share something with you about the power of intention. Your comeback began the moment you decided it would, not when circumstances changed, not when other people believed in you, not when you achieved your first small victory. It began when you made a decision in your mind and heart that you were going to rise again. That decision created a ripple in the universe. It set forces in motion. It activated possibilities that were dormant. Everything that's happening now is a response to that decision. But here's the thing about intention. It must be followed by alignment. You can't intend to have a great comeback while maintaining the same thought patterns that led to the setback. You can't desire transformation while clinging to old habits. You can't expect new results while refusing to change your approach. Alignment means bringing your thoughts, your words, your actions, and your energy into harmony with your intention. It means becoming a vibrational match for what you want to experience. This is where most people stumble. They set powerful intentions, but then they sabotage themselves with negative self-talk, victim mentality, and resistance to change. They say they want to come back, but they keep rehearsing their setback. They keep telling the story of their failure to anyone who will listen. They keep identifying with their pain rather than their potential. And every time they do this, they push their comeback further away. Your comeback requires a new story, not a fake story, not a story where you pretend the setback didn't happen or the pain wasn't real, but a story where the setback is a chapter, not the whole book. A story where you're the hero who rises, not the victim who falls. A story where challenges are opportunities for growth, not evidence of your inadequacy. The story you tell yourself about your life becomes your life. So tell a better story. Here's something most people don't realize. You're in control of the meaning you assign to your experiences. The event itself is neutral. It's your interpretation that gives it meaning. You can look at your setback and say, "This proves I'm not good enough." Or you can look at the exact same setback and say, "This is redirecting me towards something better." Both interpretations are available to you. Both are equally valid as perspectives. But only one will empower your comeback. The greatest gift you can give yourself during this time is the gift of new perspective. See your challenges as assignments, not punishments. See your struggles as strengthening exercises, not signs of weakness. See your delays as divine timing, not personal failure. See your losses as clearings, making space for what truly belongs in your life. When you shift your perspective, you shift your experience. And when you shift your experience, you shift your reality. Now, I want to address something that might be weighing on your heart. You might be carrying shame about your setback. You might be embarrassed about where you are compared to where you thought you'd be. You might be avoiding people because you don't want to answer questions about what happened. Let me tell you something with absolute certainty. Shame is a waste of your precious energy. Shame serves no purpose except to keep you small. Everyone, and I mean everyone, has experienced failure, disappointment, and setback. The difference between people who thrive and people who merely survive is not that thrivers never fail. It's that they refuse to let failure define them. Release the shame. You're human. You make mistakes. You miscalculate. You trust the wrong people sometimes. You choose poorly on occasion. So does everyone else. The path to greatness is not a straight line of successes. It's a zigzag of attempts, failures, lessons, adjustments, and eventual breakthroughs. Every master was once a disaster. Every expert was once a beginner. Every success story was once a struggle story. You're in good company. Your comeback is also going to require you to make peace with your past. You can't move forward while constantly looking backward. You can't create a new future while remaining chained to old resentments. Forgiveness is not about condoning what happened. It's not about saying that the hurt was okay. It's about releasing the grip that the past has on your present. It's about freeing yourself from the prison of bitterness. It's about choosing your peace over your right to be angry. Forgive the people who hurt you, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you made, not because they weren't mistakes, but because punishing yourself doesn't change anything. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door to your comeback. As long as you're holding grudges, you're holding on to weight that will prevent you from rising. Let it go. All of it. Watch how light you become. Watch how quickly you start moving forward. There's something else I need you to understand about this comeback of yours. It's not just for you. Yes, you'll benefit from it. Yes, your life will improve dramatically. Yes, you'll experience joy and success and fulfillment. But your comeback has a greater purpose. You're being prepared to serve others who will go through what you're going through now. Your struggle is equipping you with empathy. Your pain is training you in compassion. Your journey through darkness is preparing you to be a light for others. Every difficulty you overcome becomes a message of hope for someone who's currently in that difficulty. Every obstacle you conquer becomes a roadmap for someone who's facing that obstacle. Your comeback story will inspire someone's breakthrough. Your testimony will become someone else's survival manual. This is bigger than you. This is about the ripple effect you'll create by refusing to stay down. So rise not just for yourself, but for the single mother who's struggling to believe things will get better. Rise for the entrepreneur who just had their business fail. Rise for the student who's doubting their abilities. Rise for the person battling depression who needs to see that recovery is possible. Rise for everyone who needs to witness a real-life example of resilience. Your comeback is a gift to the world. Let's talk about action, because while mindset is crucial, movement is mandatory. Your comeback won't materialize out of thin air. It requires you to take steps, even when you can't see the entire staircase. It requires you to move forward, even when you're afraid. It requires you to act, even when you feel like you don't have all the answers. Inspired action is the bridge between intention and manifestation. But here's what inspired action looks like. It's not forced. It's not driven by desperation or fear. It's not about hustling until you burn out. Inspired action comes from a place of clarity and alignment. It's the action you take because it feels right, not because you think you should. It's the step you take because it's calling to you, not because someone else told you to take it. When you're aligned with your true self, action becomes effortless. It flows. It feels natural. It energizes you rather than depletes you. Pay attention to what's calling you right now. What idea keeps showing up in your mind? What opportunity keeps presenting itself? What skill are you being drawn to develop? What conversation are you being nudged to have? These are not random. These are breadcrumbs leading you toward your comeback. Follow them, trust them, act on them. Even if they seem small, even if they seem unrelated to your big goal. The universe works in mysterious ways, connecting dots you can't see yet. Your comeback is also going to require you to upgrade your circle. Not everyone who was in your life during your setback is meant to be in your life during your comeback. Some people are comfortable with you being down because it makes them feel better about their own situation. Some people are threatened by your growth because it highlights their stagnation. Some people are energy vampires who drain your enthusiasm and kill your dreams with their pessimism. You must be willing to love people from a distance if they're not supporting your rise. Surround yourself with people who believe in comebacks. Connect with people who have experienced their own resurrection. Spend time with people who speak life, not death, over your situation. Find mentors who have been where you are and got to where you want to be. Create a community of encouragers, not discouragers. Your environment shapes your expectations, and your expectations shape your reality. Choose your environment wisely. I want to address the voice of doubt that's probably whispering in your ear right now. It's saying things like, what if this doesn't work? And what if I fail again? And what if I'm not strong enough? That voice is not your truth. It's your fear. And fear is nothing more than false evidence appearing real. It's your mind's way of trying to protect you from disappointment by keeping you from trying. But that protection is actually a prison. The antidote to fear is not courage. Courage is what you need when you're trying to overcome fear. The real antidote to fear is faith. Faith that you're exactly where you need to be. Faith that everything is working out for your good. Faith that you have everything within you that you need to succeed. Faith that the same force that creates flowers and stars and galaxies is supporting your comeback. When faith is greater than fear, movement becomes inevitable. Here's a truth that might surprise you. You don't need to be fearless to have a great comeback. You just need to be willing to act despite the fear. Every person you admire, every success story you've heard, every comeback champion you know, they all felt fear. They all had doubts. They all wondered if they could really do it. The difference is that they didn't let those feelings stop them. They felt the fear and did it anyway. They heard the doubts and moved forward anyway. They questioned themselves and kept going anyway. Your comeback is not dependent on you feeling confident all the time. It's dependent on you being committed regardless of how you feel. Feelings are fickle. They change with your mood, your energy level, your circumstances. But commitment is constant. Commitment says, I'm doing this no matter what. Commitment says, my feelings don't get to vote on my future. Commitment says, I will keep going until I break through. Now, let me talk about patience, because this is where many people lose their comeback. They start strong, they make changes, they take action, but when results don't show up immediately, they quit. They decide it's not working. They return to old patterns. They give up right before the breakthrough. Don't be that person. Understand that there's always a lag time between planting and harvesting. You can't plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. Growth takes time. Transformation takes time. Comebacks take time. But here's what's happening during that time. Roots are developing. Foundations are being strengthened. Character is being built. Skills are being honed. Connections are being made. Circumstances are being arranged. Just because you can't see the progress doesn't mean progress isn't happening. Just because you can't see the growth doesn't mean growth isn't occurring. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Patience doesn't mean passive waiting. It means active faith. It means continuing to show up, continuing to do the work, continuing to maintain your vision even when the evidence isn't there yet. It means watering your seed every day even though you can't see anything happening underground. It means believing in the harvest during the planting season. This kind of patience is power. This kind of patience produces miracles. Let me tell you what's going to happen as your comeback unfolds. Opportunities will start appearing. Doors will start opening. People will start showing up. Resources will start flowing. But here's the catch. They probably won't look like you expect them to look. The opportunity might be disguised as a challenge. The door might look like a risk. The person might be unexpected. The resource might require you to step out of your comfort zone. Don't miss your breakthrough because it's wrapped in unfamiliar packaging. Be flexible. Be open. Be willing to say yes to things that scare you a little bit. Be willing to try approaches you haven't tried before. Be willing to go places you haven't gone before. Be willing to be uncomfortable. Your comfort zone is familiar, but it's also limiting. Everything you want is outside your comfort zone. Your comeback requires expansion, and expansion requires you to stretch beyond what's comfortable. There's going to come a moment in your comeback when you realize that the setback was the best thing that ever happened to you. I know that sounds crazy right now. I know you can't see how the pain could possibly be a gift, but it is. The setback forced you to reevaluate everything. It made you question beliefs that weren't serving you. It revealed people's true colors. It showed you what really matters. It pushed you to develop strengths you didn't know you had. It prepared you for a level of success you couldn't have handled before. The old version of you couldn't sustain what's coming. That version had blind spots. That version had weaknesses. That version had unhealed wounds that would have sabotaged success. The setback was like a refining fire. It burned away the impurities. It revealed the gold within you. It made you ready. The person you're becoming through this process is worthy of the comeback you're about to experience. The old you wasn't. And that's not a criticism, it's just truth. Your comeback is going to change your definition of success. You used to think success was about money, status, possessions, achievements. And those things are fine. There's nothing wrong with wanting them. But you're going to realize that success is really about alignment. It's about being in harmony with your true self. It's about doing work that matters to you. It's about having relationships that nourish your soul. It's about contributing to something greater than yourself. It's about inner peace, regardless of outer circumstances. This is the kind of success that lasts. This is the kind of success that satisfies. As you rise, you're going to be tempted to prove yourself to the people who doubted you. You're going to want to show them that they were wrong about you. You're going to want validation from the people who rejected you. Resist this temptation. You don't need their approval. You don't need their acknowledgement. You don't need them to admit they were wrong. Your comeback is not about them. It's about you. It's about you reclaiming your power. It's about you stepping into your truth. It's about you fulfilling your purpose. Let that be enough. The sweetest revenge is not proving people wrong. The sweetest revenge is becoming so genuinely happy, so authentically successful, so completely at peace that you forget who wronged you. The sweetest revenge is living so fully that you no longer have energy to waste on resentment. The sweetest revenge is being so focused on your own growth that other people's opinions become irrelevant. When you reach this place, you've truly won. There will be days during your comeback when you feel like quitting. There will be moments when the old patterns try to pull you back. There will be times when fear tries to convince you to settle for less. In those moments, I want you to remember why you started. I want you to remember the pain of staying stuck. I want you to remember the vision you have for your life. I want you to remember that you're closer than you think. I want you to remember that the breakthrough is often right after the moment when you want to quit. Don't quit. Not now. Not when you've come this far. Not when you've invested this much. Not when you're on the verge of something amazing. Every step you've taken has been preparing you for what's next. Every lesson you've learned has been necessary. Every tear you've cried has been watering the seeds of your future. You're not starting over. You're starting from experience. You're starting from wisdom. You're starting from strength. That's a powerful place to start. Your comeback is going to inspire a chain reaction. When you rise, you'll give others permission to rise. When you heal, you'll show others that healing is possible. When you succeed, you'll prove to others that success is available to them too. Never underestimate the impact of your transformation. You think your comeback is just about you, but it's not. It's about everyone who's watching you. It's about everyone who needs to see a living example of resilience. It's about everyone who's on the verge of giving up. Your rise might be the reason someone else decides to try again. So understand this: your comeback is not optional. It's not something you might do if circumstances align perfectly. It's not something that depends on other people's cooperation. Your comeback is inevitable because you've already decided it is. The universe is responding to your decision right now. Things are shifting. Pieces are moving into place. Doors are preparing to open. People are being positioned. Resources are being gathered. Everything you need is coming together. Your only job is to stay aligned, stay committed, and stay open. As we come to the close of these words, I want you to feel something. I want you to feel the power that's awakening within you. I want you to feel the strength that's been building through your struggle. I want you to feel the possibility that's hovering right in front of you. I want you to feel the love that the universe has for you. I want you to feel the support that's available to you. I want you to feel the certainty that your greatest days are ahead of you, not behind you. You are not finished. You are not defeated. You are not done. You are being reborn. You are being reconstructed. You are being repositioned for promotion. The best version of your life is being prepared right now. The most fulfilling chapter is about to begin. The greatest contribution you'll make is still ahead of you. The deepest love you'll experience is on its way. The most profound joy you'll feel is coming. The peace you've been seeking is already finding you. This is your time. This is your season. This is your moment. The biggest comeback of your life is not coming. It's here. It's now. It started the moment you decided to rise. It accelerated the moment you changed your perspective. It became unstoppable the moment you committed to your growth. You're in it right now. You're experiencing it right now. The comeback is not a future event. It's a present reality. Look at how far you've already come. Look at what you've already survived. Look at the strength you've already demonstrated. Look at the wisdom you've already gained. Look at the person you've already become. You're not who you were when this started. You're stronger. You're wiser. You're more resilient. You're more compassionate. You're more authentic. The struggle has refined you. The pain has deepened you. The setback has prepared you. Every morning you wake up is another opportunity to write your comeback story. Every day you choose to keep going is another victory. Every moment you resist the temptation to quit is another step toward your breakthrough. You are doing it, you are rising, you are coming back. And when you look back on this time from the height of your success, you're going to be so grateful that you didn't give up. You're going to be so proud of yourself for persevering. You're going to be amazed at how perfectly everything worked out. The universe is not against you. Life is not punishing you. You are not cursed. You are being prepared. You are being positioned. You are being promoted. Everything that seemed to be working against you was actually working for you. Every closed door was protecting you from what wasn't meant for you. Every delay was divine timing. Every challenge was developing your character. Every setback was setting you up for a comeback that will exceed your wildest dreams. You are loved. You are supported. You are guided. You are enough. You are worthy. You are capable. You are ready. The greatest comeback of your life is not a hope. It's not a wish. It's not a maybe. It's a certainty. It's already done in the spiritual realm. Now you just get to watch it manifest in the physical realm. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Trust the universe. Trust that everything is working together for your highest good. This comeback is going to be legendary, not because it will be famous, but because it will be yours, because you will know what it took, because you will understand the depth of the transformation, because you will recognize the miracle of your resurrection. And when you're living in the fullness of your comeback, when you're experiencing the joy and peace and success you've been longing for, you will know without a doubt that it was all worth it. Every tear, every struggle, every moment of doubt, it was all worth it. So stand tall, lift your head, straighten your shoulders, look forward with expectation. Your comeback is here. You are entering the greatest season of your life. Everything you've been through has prepared you for this moment. The universe is cheering you on. Your true self is celebrating. Your future is waiting, and it's more beautiful than you can possibly imagine. Welcome to your comeback. Welcome to your resurrection. Welcome to the greatest chapter of your life. You've got this. You've always had this. And now, finally, you're stepping into the fullness of who you were always meant to be.